In early 2025, the United Kingdom announced a seismic change to its immigration policy, one that will redefine the path to citizenship and permanent residency. The Home Office declared that anyone who entered the UK by irregular means crossing the Channel in a small boat or being smuggled in a vehicle, for example, will be permanently barred from ever becoming a British citizen. This rule is not just prospective, the government is now reviewing and even revoking the citizenship of people who were already naturalised after originally entering illegally. In short, how you first set foot in the UK could now determine your destiny. An entry made outside the law means no possible citizenship or indefinite leave to remain in the future. The government's message is blunt. They say this tough stance is meant to deter dangerous journeys and reduce illegal immigration. In a landmark announcement on the 10th of February 2025, they made clear that any application for citizenship from someone who first came unlawfully to the UK will normally be refused, no matter how much time has passed. Previously, individuals who crossed borders illegally long ago but had since lived legally with indefinite leave to remain ILR and kept a clean record might still apply for citizenship. That loophole is now closed. Even a decade-old irregular entry can now be grounds for denial of British nationality under the new good character rule in the Home Office guidance. The idea is to send a stark warning. Once you enter without authorisation, a permanent future here is off the table. At the same time, the UK is tightening rules for many legal migrants seeking to stay. A recent immigration white paper titled "Restoring Control over the Immigration System" makes it clear that the country will focus on attracting highly skilled workers and cutting overall migrant numbers. Several proposals in this white paper have already come into effect or are being implemented. 1. Longer path to settlement. The qualifying period for ILR is set to double for many visa categories. Where it once took 5 years of lawful residence to apply for permanent residency, now most skilled work and other long-stay visas will require 10 years before a person can apply for ILR. Since you generally need to hold ILR for 1 year before applying for citizenship, this effectively lengthens the wait for a passport by many more years than before. 2. Higher skills and salaries. The skilled worker visa route has been overhauled. As of the 22nd of July 2025, the minimum skill level for a job sponsorship has been raised to RQF Level 6, a bachelor's degree or equivalent. The minimum salary threshold for sponsored workers has also been significantly increased. The goal is to ensure that only the most highly skilled and well-paid professionals are eligible, making the competition for visa spots fiercer. 3. Stricter English and Life in the UK tests. Language and civics requirements have tightened. Most visa applicants, including partners of skilled workers, must now meet higher English proficiency standards. Failing the Life in the UK test or missing the new language benchmarks will block applications for citizenship or ILR. 4. Dangerous journeys targeted. In its updated guidance, the government specifically singles out dangerous journeys, meaning channel crossings in small boats and similar routes. Those who survived such treacherous crossings and later apply for British citizenship will almost certainly be refused, according to the new rules. The message is clear. The route you took to arrive at our shores now directly affects your future prospects. Behind these policy shifts is a broader immigration strategy. The white paper emphasises restoring control by discouraging irregular migrants and focusing on those who can demonstrably contribute to the UK economy. Many of these rules are already in place, reflecting a quickly hardening stance at the border. One of the most alarming aspects of this new regime is the power of the Home Secretary to strip someone of British citizenship altogether. Under the British Nationality Act 1981, ministers have long been able to revoke citizenship obtained by fraud or false documents, or if it is deemed conducive to the public good, usually in cases involving national security or serious crime. What is new, however, is a wave of scrutiny on individuals who gained citizenship despite having entered illegally. There have already been high-profile cases where people who thought their status was secure had their citizenship and ILR taken away. Take the story of one man who built his entire life in the UK. He moved to Britain years ago, worked steadily, paid taxes, raised a family, and believed the country was his home. Then, suddenly, the Home Office revoked his indefinite leave to remain and stripped him of citizenship. The UK government has no heart, he said, describing the shock and anguish of seeing his contributions erased in an instant. He blamed the Home Office entirely. "They've taken away years of my life," he lamented. This man's anger also sprang from the perceived injustice in how he and others like him have been treated. He pointed out that victims of other government scandals receive far more support. For example, sub-postmasters affected by the Post Office Horizon scandal are set to receive baseline compensation of around £600,000 each. Meanwhile, he and people in his situation, victims of being labelled illegal entrants despite their long lawful residency, were being offered only about £20,000 to £40,000. "We are treated as if we're less valuable than postmen and postwomen," he fumed. "We've gone through as much pain as they did. An offer of £20,000 is an insult. Our baseline should be at least £600,000. His story underlines the human cost of these new policies. Years of hard work, family life, and community ties wiped out overnight, leaving him angry and betrayed. Even for immigrants who entered the UK through proper channels, nothing is guaranteed under the new rules. Applications for ILR or citizenship can be denied for a range of reasons, and the Home Office has been known to interpret the requirements very broadly. The most common ground for refusal is failure to meet the good character requirement. This can include having any criminal convictions, even minor, financial problems, or a history of immigration breaches such as overstaying a visa or breaking terms of entry. Residency requirements are another pitfall. Applicants must show they have spent sufficient time in the UK and that any absences abroad were within the allowed limits. Getting these details wrong is easy. For example, spending too many days outside the UK can invalidate an application. Simple paperwork errors can also doom an application. Missing documents, incorrect forms, or even typos can lead to outright rejection. Finally, there are the mandatory tests. Everyone must pass the Life in the UK test, which covers British history, culture, and laws, and they must meet English language standards. Failing either of these tests will result in automatic refusal of citizenship, no matter how long you've lived in Britain. All of this adds up to a significantly tougher environment for anyone hoping to settle permanently in the UK. The government's stated aim is to drive down net migration and ensure that only those meeting strict criteria can make Britain their home. If you are currently in the UK on a visa, it is now more important than ever to understand exactly what conditions you must meet. The rules have changed in mid-game. Paths that once seemed straightforward now have higher hurdles, longer timelines, and less room for error. If you are considering coming to the UK, be prepared for a much more stringent application process focused on high skills and salaries. The cautionary tale of the man who lost his citizenship is a powerful reminder of the system's human impact. He feels that his years of paying taxes and contributing to British society was simply thrown away, and he vows never to forgive the government for what he sees as a profound betrayal. As the UK reshapes its immigration landscape in 2025 and beyond, stories like his highlight the very real stakes for individuals. The dream of a British passport remains alive for some, but for many, it is fading under these new rules. The pathway to citizenship has been fundamentally redrawn, with unprecedented barriers for those who arrived irregularly and tougher requirements across the board for legal migrants. The future of UK immigration policy has changed dramatically, and it will never be the same again. Migrants and prospective migrants must stay informed, watch for updates, and seek professional advice if they are unsure about their situation. This is a complex and evolving situation, and understanding the new landscape is essential for anyone with aspirations of making the UK a permanent home.